Are we ready for me to get controversial again? Don't we think that a lot of these changes did not need to wait a year? The really cynical part of me wants to say, now I'm not saying I truly believe this, but I'm saying part of me that wonders, maybe they just held these changes back to make the patch look really big. Do you know what I mean?
What is good, guys? Fighting Game Select is here. We are back. I'm here with jmcrofts again. What's good, bro?
Hey, how's it going? SF6, the hype is real right now. We got the new patch, and I'm ready to discuss it.
Yeah, dude, and we got to talk about how this patch made the game fresh as a new season. A lot of people, I don't know, man. Like, I see a lot of people playing Akuma, which is great. True. I see a lot of people playing their characters, which is great. I'm seeing a lot of people experiment with like other new characters, but is the game fresh, right? Like, are you playing the game? Are you feeling like it's a new game, or you feel like it's the same game? Like, what are your thoughts on it, right?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts. I would say, my cover statement here, my thesis is the game is very fresh right now, asterisk, and the asterisk is if you play certain characters. I think that's maybe my biggest issue with the patches. I think for some characters, it does feel like kind of what they promised, which was like, this is going to be the big new season. This is going to be the equivalent of, like Super Street Fighter 4 or like Street Fighter 3 Second Impact. Like, this is the equivalent of that in terms of changes. And for some characters, it does feel that way. Like, I think Aki, Ryu, Zangief, these characters, they feel like new versions of themselves. They feel completely reworked. But for other characters, that's not really the case, like Lily, Dawson, Manon. Like, these characters, to me, they don't really feel like that much has changed. They still have the same issues. They have a couple nice buffs and nice quality of life things, but at the end of the day, you're still kind of doing the same thing you were in Season 1.
The biggest change that they really tried, like, in my opinion, that they wanted to like improve on was like kind of like how the nature of the game is, right? Mm-hmm. And this is pretty impressive, because usually like companies would be like, all right, well, let's just make like all this stuff like crazy, right? Let's make the damage crazy. Like, let's just like add like all these like really volatile state things, right?
Yeah.
And they're I feel like this season was more focused on the system mechanic than it was for characters.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think part of it was like, it felt like some characters were missing like basic options, so they wanted to give that to them. Like, I feel like Wake Up Drive Reversal, that's kind of what the deal was. Like, a lot of characters, if they're getting throw looped, they don't really have any answer except to guess like throw tech or backdash, But now, everyone has the Wake Up Drive Reversal, which, we'll probably talk more about exactly how effective that move is. But, you have something on Wake Up now that can help you out. And there were also a lot of other changes. Like, they want every character's like footsies normals to kind of be punishable in the same way. They're kind of trying to like even things out across the board.
In my opinion, like, I think the biggest thing that we got that was really good for the game is Drive Reversal being slightly faster. Right?
Yeah.
And like, I wouldn't say the Wake Up Drive Reversal is like good, but I would say like being able to like somebody just like button drive rush and they dash in, and like during certain block stun, or if they do a certain pressure and you do Drive Reversal, they can block it. Now that's not the case anymore. And I think that's good for the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I want to say like another thing that they changed a lot, and you can call this a buff, you can call this a nerf, you can call this. It's really all over the place, but I think naturally overall it's a buff, and I think it's perfect parry. It made it easier to like perfect parry fireballs, but like it also is bad to just use it with no purpose, right? Just
because of the whiff change, yeah.
Yeah, but the fireballs, like Guile's fireball is really strong, and like now that they made it where perfect parry and fireballs is easier, I feel like that made like dealing with projectiles way more easier for characters like Zangief.
True.
Yeah.
It's funny because like you wouldn't really think that this is a game where fireballs are really good, but they're actually kind of ridiculous, right?
Dude, they pay taxes right now.
Yeah, like Chun-Li, Guile, Luke, like these characters, fireballs, and,
Ryu
and now
now.
Ryu. We got to deal with Ryu.
Yeah. We gotta deal with Ryu now.
Yeah, fireballs
Akumas?
were actually nuts. Yeah,
Akuma's,
fireballs,
yeah. He got like 8 fireballs. So I think like things like that is really good, and I like the fact that like it like hurt boxes has been expanded by these abusable moves. So I feel like a lot of characters didn't really get a lot of crazy stuff, or they got like the characters that were not popular got like a lot of crazy stuff, while some characters just kind of got like a lot of toned downs.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they did that was because, well, these characters had a lot of stuff anyway. We got to see like what's the flaw of these, and I think that's why they announced saying like we're gonna do multiple patches this season.
Yes,
Rather
I think
than, like,
that
wait-
was a necessary announcement, because
Yeah.
I think if they said, guess what, you're going to wait another year, I think there might have been riots in the street.
Yeah, so I think the reason why they announced that is because they want to see what can be added nicely
Yeah.
with this, and I hope they do a lot of additions rather than like nerfs.
Yeah, I liked that, even with some of the best characters in the game, like, a lot of them are overall nerfed, but they still got some new toys to play with. Like, Luke and Ken actually have like new fun stuff to do now.
Yeah, I don't know about DJ doesn't.
Yes, that might be an exception, but
But it's crazy because he's still good. Like his tools are good, right? So like even though he don't got new stuff, the stuff that he does is just more toned down.
he is good, but they should have given it, even though I do think that DJ was like a pretty ridiculous character before, I do think they should have given him something for the players to have fun with. Because it's not fun when everyone's like, well, let me mess with every character except my main because my main didn't get anything fun.
I like what they did with like the drive system where like if you use drive rush and then you start like attacking them, you start building meter back again. And like even if somebody's like regular parrying your attacks, you start building like more meter too as an offensive. Like, do you like those changes at all?
I haven't really paid attention to these. So you're saying that like if you normal parry and attack, you build more meter now? Is that true?
So let's say for example somebody's like parrying your attack. Before, like you used to like get like short meter, right? But now you get like your meter like gradually like increases now. Like you're not locked in after using like a special move, like a drive move anymore.
Oh, I see. You start getting it back faster.
Yeah, so I like those changes like that because, like before, like let's say for example, like you use drive rush and you do like a jab, like you'll be locked out for a little bit, right? Now you're not locked out as much, and I like that change. And another change I want to talk about too is that let's say for somebody perfect parry you, and then they back throw. Instead of taking like one whole bar, they take a half a bar.
Yeah, and they're left at more distance too, right?
Yeah. So how you feel about that?
I might be about the time of the show where I start getting controversial here. So
yeah,
the thing is, I think for me, I agree that like it definitely took too much drive away on the punish counter after drive parry. I agree with that, but. For the back throw like distance thing, I honestly think the only reason why they had to make that nerf is because like too much of the game is oriented around throw loops. So like because it's just like not fun. Yeah. To get back thrown into the corner and then you're like, well, it's time.
Yep,
it's time for the throw
loop.
Yeah, the throw loop mini game that exists in every matchup. So like the other game that has me think about this is the Third Strike, right? So I've been playing so much Third Strike lately. Getting ready for Evo, and in that game, I swear to God, I am the back throw king in that game. If I parry you and I'm close to the corner at all, I'm gonna back throw you. And the reason why is because I play a lot of these characters like Urien, like Dudley, like Denjin Ryu, where I'm gonna back throw you and then I'm gonna do something stupid and inescapable to you, and you're gonna die, right? Like being in the corner is so bad, and like it's cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's cheap to back throw into just killing someone, but I feel like it's more fun in that game because offense is cheaper in general, and like these are character specific things that are like exciting to see. Like it's not exciting to get hit by Urien unblockable into death in the corner, but it's exciting for the spectators, and it's exciting that the game has these really varied matchups. Whereas in this game, you get back thrown in the corner, and regardless of the matchup, it's throw loop time. It's the same mini game against the entire cast, basically.
Yeah, and you also have to look out for like drive impact and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's more like system mechanics on top of just throw loops. And like at least in Third Strike, it's like okay, like they're gonna back throw it, and they're gonna like I have to hold like the cheap.
Yeah.
But you know you have like the parry mechanic to like kind of maneuver away if you're good enough, right?
Right.
So
and like
yes.
it also kind of adds to the nature of this game. Like one of the biggest things that everyone says about this game is like it's so stressful to play. Because you have to keep you have to keep drive impact in your mind. You have to keep, I got to be ready to anti-air. I got to be ready to whiff punish. You have like 18 things in your mind at all times, which is not a bad thing. Like it makes the game fun too. But like it just kind of has this pervasive feeling in every matchup. You're kind of worrying about the same things, which I think, it's a little bit detrimental to the game that the system mechanics being strong. It's helpful in one sense because it makes every character competitive. Like every character has access to drive rush, drive impact, drive parry. But on the other hand, it can make the matchups feel a little bit samey when everyone kind of has the same stuff. So all this to say that I do think that throw loops are kind of detrimental to the game, and that's the reason why they had to do that back throw nerf. So overall, I think the nerf is fine, but I think it doesn't address the system issue of too much of the offense in this game is oriented around throw loops.
Honestly, like, believe it or not, like, I've been messing around with Jamie a lot, and, I think a lot of his changes that he got, like, there wasn't, like, I think before the patch was, like, really good with, like, the throw, giving him the raw drink and things like that. I think that was really good. And, I think, what I like a lot in this patch, too, is, heavy punch swagger step, being -2.
Yeah,
and
like,
I think that's great.
Yeah, Jamie's interesting because I feel like a lot of his stuff is like, oh, this is how the move should have worked in the first place. Did you feel that way too?
I felt like that, especially reading the dive kick changes.
Yeah, the dive kick and the breakdance move for me.
The breakdance move. Yeah.
I was like, bro, this is how that move should have always worked. Are we ready for me to get controversial again? My other big statement about this patch is like, don't we think that a lot of these changes did not need to wait a year?
It did not have to wait a year.
Like, okay, there are some to me that are like really crazy. So like a lot of the like quality of life stuff, I'm like, why did this have to wait? Like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really affect balance that much, but is basically just to like make the character like feel like they're operating correctly. And I'm like, bro, why did we have to wait a year for this? It's crazy.
I think they were so scared.
I guess.
Or, another thing, personally what I think they were already like working on the DLC characters and like working overtime with them, that they didn't have time to release, or maybe they were preparing for season 2 characters, working on those, and didn't have time to make adjustments after that. Maybe their battle team just wasn't as big at first, and now they got people to like work. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you could be right.
I don't know, dude, but it was crazy that like most changes were just basically like quality of life changes.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's like, bro, stuff like, the first frame of supers being fully invincible, that almost never came up, but it was just like a weird bug that's been in the game since day one, and it's like it took you a year to fix this, and you just fix it for like every character, like just make the change. I don't know. So maybe I'm being overly critical, but the really cynical part of me wants to say, now I'm not saying I truly believe this, but I'm saying perhaps there is a part of me that wonders, maybe they just held these changes back to make the patch look really big. Do you know what I mean?
I know
Like
exactly.
they can go like, oh, there's like 18 changes for this character. Yeah, but like 5 of them are like bug fixes or like things that we've known about forever that don't affect balance that much. So you could have just made those changes.
Ryu, he could do Denjin. He could hold his Denjin, and he could throw medium and light punch fireballs, and even Hashigekis, bro. Yeah. By the way, he could throw those 2 out, and like don't have to use like Denjin. I think that change compared to like my change over there, it's like
yeah, the Ryu change. That's the kind of change that comes in like Super Street Fighter 4. That's like a new game type change.
Right.
But a lot of characters did not get something like that.
Yeah, they just got adjustments.
Yeah, they just got numbers changed.
Yeah. So they definitely gaslighted us on that.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, yeah, I think the expectations were definitely really crazy because of the fact that it's been a year and because they were like, all right, we got this big patch coming. So I think it was going to be really hard for them to deliver in a way that would satisfy everyone. But yeah, I guess my biggest complaint is basically the inequity of like some characters got like a million cool things and some characters got like one.
Now that we got told that we're not getting one patch a year, I think this is a good direction.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a good beginning to shake up season 2. Right?
And the other thing is like, can you really think of any changes that you really disagree with in this? I feel like everyone can say like, oh, this character didn't get enough. Like people say, Manon didn't get enough, she's still bottom tier or whatever, but I don't think anyone really says like, oh, this change ruins the character or whatever.
I don't think I disagree with any of the changes outside of like, you know, and this is just me being like a hateful ass individual. It's Marissa.
What, the fact that she actually got buffs, that's what you don't like?
Bro, she kill you off like, she do like so much damage.
Hey man, just don't get hit.
Bro, like how everybody gets scaling and then her is like, nah, we gonna turn it up a little bit.
That is true. They took that's like crazy. The most damaging character in the game and gave her more damage. That is true.
Yeah. That's my issue, man. It's like, you know, keep that same energy across the board. That's all I've said. Like,
yeah, I think maybe other than
like to be. Go ahead.
Maybe other than Marisa, I think that this was a very safe patch.
This is very safe, very very safe, and I'm glad that this patch happened because I think despite like a lot of things that a lot of people are saying now, I feel like we're going to see a couple of new characters, you know, show up to top 8, and one of them is definitely going to be
you know what I think the other one is?
Who?
Akuma.
Doesn't
even need to be said.
Dude, you know what's so funny? I feel like Aki Akuma came out in season 2.
They did, and you know, kind of Ryu too.
Yeah, Connor Ryu too. Yeah, so I think it's very funny. But you know, generally, I think we're gonna see some Zangiefs.
Yeah,
Zangief has become super popular as of late.
He also became popular to hate on. Zangief is like persona non grata on Twitter, man. Everyone, all they do is complain about Zangief all day.
Yeah, dude, and like I think that's a good thing because that means that Zangief became more of a threat. I think we're gonna see some Manons here and there. I think Lily's gonna be popular a little bit as well. And you know, I believe in my boy Jamie. I think we're gonna see some Jamies too.
It's funny because they're kind of similar characters in a way where I think that they're characters where a lot of their strength is focused in just a few areas. So like Aki, so much of her strength is focused on like being dominant in the corner and being dominant when you're burnt out. And so they have to be a little bit careful about like how good can we make the rest of her kit, because there are certain rounds where there's nothing you can do. She's gonna kill you because she got a counter hit in the corner or because you got burnt out, whatever. And Jamie's kind of similar. Like if he gets his 4 drinks, you know, he starts to actually be like a huge problem. And so they have to be a little bit scared of like how good can we make this character when he's at base level. But it feels like they definitely gave Aki a lot of things that shored up her weaknesses, and it feels like Jamie maybe not as much.
Yeah, honestly, even level 3 Jamie is scary.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I think level 3 drink is scary. Level 2 is good because he got the breakdance move that goes through fireballs. Mm-hmm. So that's really good too. So, you know, and then the fact that when he goes into like level 2 from the last patch, he doesn't lose all of his levels. So
yeah, I think that one really helped.
I think that buff helped the changes that he got now even better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of happened to Ryu too, right? Like they buffed Hashogeki quite a lot in the last patch, and then they just gave him like more buffs in this patch.
And it was like, damn, Hachigeki's even better.
Yeah, because now you can
like
choose
4 heavy punch. Now he got 4 heavy punch level +3 on block.
That is like the other biggest buff in the like Ryu got 2 of the biggest buffs in the patch. Like forward heavy punch being +3 is crazy.
Yeah, and he didn't lose any of his damage outside of the dungeon and the EX version of Hashigeki. I think that got the damage nerf. But other than that, everything else is good.
I know I saw on day 1, people were like, is Ryu the best Shoto now? Which I think, you know, now that things have settled it does kind of seem like Luke and maybe Akuma are better, but yeah, he's pretty crazy.
I like the fact that every character in this patch got like they have like their unique strength.
Yeah.
Now.
It's cool, and I think also it's, you know, if we're talking about like, did this patch kind of revitalize everyone's interest in the game? I think it is lucky that this patch and Akuma came out at the same time, because it's kind of like a double whammy of like, oh, the game is different now.
Yeah, but Akuma's cool.
Yeah, he is cool.
Yeah. So overall, how we feeling this patch? I'm having fun. I think the game is fresh.
If I'm gonna give the patch a letter grade, I will give it a B.
That's good. That's fair. See, I'm gonna do it with numbers, man. I think this patch is an 8 out of 10.
Okay, I think I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. We sound like IGN right now.
I know. Yeah, it's a 7 to 10 scale.
Yeah, 7 to 10 scale. But you know, the reason why I give it a solid 8 is because I only give it a solid 8 because it did showcase some new characters that were not really lacking, have some like big strength.
Yeah.
I think it would be like an 8, or it'd be like a 6 or 7 to me if like DJ JP and stuff was still like the best character in the game.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's true.
Aki's on the list now. You know, a lot of people are even saying like Ken is stronger. A lot of people are saying like Marissa's stronger. You know, Lily's stronger. So like, that's a lot of good characters. You know.
Yeah, well, all I have to say to Capcom is if you want that score upgraded from a 7.5 to an 8, drop some Dawson buffs, and then we'll start talking. Okay.
Dude, imagine they drop it like right afterwards.
I know, they're like, yo, psych.
Imagine in the patch notes they was like, we heard you, jmcrofts.
Level 1 super is invincible now. He gets a full combo off punish, counter, stand, medium punch. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, stand heavy kick, hit crouchers.
Yo, now we're
force
talking.
crouchers, hit crouchers.
Yeah.
I mean, force standing, hit crouchers.
Yeah, let's go.
But overall, yeah, I like this patch, man. And thank you so much for sharing this with me. I think this was a great topic to have. Where can they find you, bro?
Well, you guys can find me as usual at youtube.com/jmcrofts. And if you're interested in some jmcrofts merch, I got some at jmcroftsmerch.com as well. We got shirts, we got drinkware, we got all kinds of stuff, and it's all limited run, so make sure you get it before it's sold out.
Thank you guys so much, man. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you guys enjoying Street Fighter 6 right now? Is the game fresh to you? Let me know in the comment section below. For all the DJ Dawson mains, man, you know, we're gonna pour one out for you tonight with some water. You know, we're gonna keep it PG up in here. We're gonna pour some out with some water. So thank you guys so much, man, and let us know how you feel. Leave a like, please subscribe to the channel, and support this as a whole. And thank you guys always. See you guys next time.
Bye.